All right. Oh, my lord. I didn't spot that at all before we transitioned. So, Papal States and Carib, it's a interesting pick. I love Lady Saf finalizing her world tour, going all the way around the place. The number of picks, though, are interesting because with Lady Saffron selecting just 4 challenges, if she completes all 4 of those challenges, assuming Algera wins, so it's her kind of worst plausible case. If she gets all of those challenges completed, she ends up with 23 points. 23 points is, by 1 point, exactly unassailable by Chewie, who is the person trailing her in points, which means that she has given herself the precise number of points required to absolutely secure herself in 3rd place going into the finals, which I just appreciate the kind of neatness of that. Meanwhile, Algera could walk away from today's session, assuming he wins and gets all 6 of his challenges, with 15 total points. That means that he is putting the pressure on Chewie and Cleo. If he gets to that 15 points, that's not 15 points from today, that's 15 points total, then he is putting the pressure on. Chewie is going to have to complete 3 challenges and win, or Cleo would have to complete 8 challenges and win. Both challenging feats. All right. We are going to waste no time here, though, as you can tell. Let's do this thing. So, Ludi, I will now hear your optimistic predictions of what is going to happen today.
I think,
My lord, what is he doing?
I think
He just maxed loans and then paid. He's going bankrupt. What is he doing? Oh, he's doing the inflation one first. Okay. My God. We need to immediately talk to Aldrahill, I feel like. Aldrahill.
I feel like he's come prepared this time for sure.
Hello, Aldrahill. This seems like interesting financial planning.
I'm going to get 2 missions right away, instantly. So,
And then he's going to restart for sure. That's big brain, actually.
yeah, I have to restart anyway.
Interesting.
For
Well,
reasons.
we'll see how that goes for you. This right here is content, I have to say. All right, we're clear. It's certainly an interesting way to start. We're going to go over to Sam's perspective. He has immediately gotten 55% Crownland and 25 inflation completed already. The Papal States, of course, start with only the clergy, I believe. Is that right, Ludi? They only have the clergy
I
state?
think so, yeah.
Meaning it's very easy because you start with a huge amount of Crownland, precisely as much as you need.
Wait, what was the question?
What? You
No,
can't answer my questions.
They start with like 40-something% Crownlands, or 50, I remember. A lot. They started with a lot of Crownlands, more than the
So he
average.
just dev push, does 1 Cs,
Yeah,
and he's done.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think he even needs to. Let me go into the game and check.
But I mean, it's certainly a way to start the game, completely nation ruining it. That's true. Chat has a good point. Saf's model has Frozen in a very smug-looking position. I think she's smug because her nation is not already bankrupt. It makes sense.
I think these are going to be very easy to do objectives for both of them.
I think we could be looking at a clean sweep here. I don't disagree.
To be fair, though, like getting and selecting a nation that doesn't see most of the other world is a very, very easy advantage. Let's face it, with the objectives that we have.
It can be, yeah. If you're willing to only take, this number of objectives, then it definitely is pretty nice. Puts you in a strong position. And of course, at this point, it's basically Saf's brand, right? This is her draft strat. She comes up with these nation picks that no one else would think of, and manages to make them work into points. And as we said, she's racked up a huge number of points in previous weeks. She doesn't really need to be taking too many challenges and so on. She's also, as we can see here, she's migrating. So it's been too long since I played Migrating Tribe. She just migrated 3 times. Why did she do that?
Can we switch over to the objectives? I actually don't remember. I want to see.
Yeah, let's get these up here. Remind everybody of what's going down. Though I can't just yet, it seems. Never mind. I'll come back over here for now. I can tell you them, though. So the remaining challenges are Unite Your Culture Group, Own 15 Coastal Provinces, and Highest Global Trade Income in the Known World on Lady Saffron. Apparently, she already had own all provinces in a trade node, which is a little insane. I think that's because she used the tribal land in order to, because you have, if you're not familiar, when you're a migrating tribe, you have one kind of main province, and then you have the tribal lands, like the lands that you have access to around your main settlement, as it were. And she used those to immediately secure the entire trade node, meaning that she already has that one completed. And
no. She started from day one with. She's the only. Carib is the only tribe in the.
Oh, because there's no one. Right.
In the Caribbean at the start. So.
You're completely right. That makes sense. Thank you. I was confused about how she had managed to get and then lose all of that tribal land, but that makes perfect sense. And now all she's looking for is highest global trade income in the known world, and 15 coastal provinces. That's interesting. I mean,
That's
15
easy.
coastal provinces shouldn't be hard.
You just gotta speed 5 it and, get the land and then reform, and then you automatically get all 15 of the provinces, so.
I think you're probably right. And then meanwhile, if we hop back over to Aldra's perspective, he is the one with the slightly more complex game this evening, it seems. We have 6 subjects, and obviously remember, everybody, that we do have the difficulty modifiers. They are in force. So in order to get 6 subjects, they all have to have below 25 Liberty Desire, a problem which has caused issues for our players in the past. Winning a coalition war requires that there are at least 5 members of the coalition at the point at which you declare on them or they declare on you. And yes, as chat has suspected, winning a coalition war means you have to send an armada. He's restarting again. We'll hop over to Lady Saffron while he does that. What was I saying? I'm sorry. You have to declare on the coalition with at least 5 members, which is going to be tricky. And the other challenges that he has to get is the 7 missions, which also requires that you complete 3 subject missions, or you have a subject who has completed 3 missions. Shouldn't be hard for him if he's got 6 subjects. There's lots of subjects that get done early. And 100 prestige, 100 legitimacy could be tricky. It could definitely be tricky. But we'll see.
I fully agree, yeah. It can be a little bit of a bait objective, let's say, as we've seen in the past with 100 prestige and legitimacy, considering the time.
Because usually the way you get so much prestige in a traditional game, later in the game, obviously you're doing conversions, can give you staggering quantities of prestige when you have the right combination of monuments, age abilities, all that kind of stuff. But obviously in the early game, they don't have access to that, so it's mostly about battles and peace deals. Now, trying to fight a lot of battles as the Papal State in just an hour, it's a bit of an ask, right? Because your manpower is not outstanding. There we go. We can see why she's migrating across, leaving all these tribal lands in a wake behind her, trying to get those 15 coastal provinces. Makes all kinds of sense. I think it should definitely be doable. It should definitely be doable for Saf here. She's put herself in a strong position. I mean, it's her game to lose at this point, I would say. The trade income, it's going to be a little tricky, though, because the Inca, they have some fairly high dev provinces. They're cranking out a reasonable amount of trade income in the early game, especially if they start to unify up. And she does have vision on them. So what's the strategy to crank the trade income here?
Well, it has to be the highest in the world, so I'm guessing she's going to have to be wiping out the Peruvians and all those lands. So I'm assuming she's going to be migrating towards there initially.
Oh, you think she'll actually, just occupy them? Because, I mean, obviously, once you occupy them, you steal all their trade power, and then you can crush their income while raising yours. But that seems like a lot to try and do in 52 minutes. I mean, we've seen good players struggle to unify the Incans in the time frame, starting as the strongest nation in the Incas area, and that's it's quite an ask to do that as a migratory tribe coming in here from the northern bit of South America. We'll see, though. It's certainly plausible. Let's take a look back from Aldra's perspective here. What is his early game strat? What is the? It's about the subjugation on Naples and Aragon, right? That's the kind of general early game strat that you want to try and run here as the papacy.
Well, as the Papal States, you want to go down the vassalization of Naples first,
Yeah.
and then afterwards just establish yourself as the hegemon in the Italian peninsula, which
Mhm.
is easy. You declare a couple of wars, take the Aragonese Islands, take the northern bits, have a pretty decent mission tree that helps you out with it as well. And you also start as the Korea controller, which automatically means you take 20% less aggressive expansion. So even though it's pretty high dev lands, it's easy to conquer. Plus, you can join the HRE if you want it from the very get-go, so that's going to help
Mhm.
out a lot as well. You can even get an alliance with the Habsburgs.
Saf has already got highest income in the trade in the world, by the way. Trade income. That's done, apparently. My lord. I did not know you could get that much trade income as a migratory tribe. Let's take a look here. I mean, that is certainly impressive. I mean, now all she has to do is 15 coastal provinces. We might see the fastest challenge completion in the history of Speed 5. The previous fastest, I believe, was Corbett with 18 minutes. Right now, Lady Saffron is trending towards completing within about, I'd say 12 minutes, maybe? That's going to be quite a sight to see. We're going to keep eyes on Alger just because I think this is where the some of the chaos is more likely to happen. He has excommunicated Naples, okay, who has already fallen out of their personal union. Interesting. That's certainly a bit of a different one. And Austria refusing the call to arms. Wow, that was a nice little alliance chain. Lucky to get that first time.
That's actually really lucky to
With no
excommunicate them,
restarts at all.
because you can get a lot of their lands earlier. You don't need to vassalize them, and you can just take advantage of those lands.
Yeah, and there'd be
A
a
lot
big
earlier.
vassal. They'd be, if you're trying to get 6 vassals with no liberty desire, you don't want a big vassal causing you problems.
Yeah.
Ooh, that fight's.
I mean, he
recovered
could still
nicely.
vassalize Naples afterwards as a 2-3 province minor or
Yes,
something of the sort.
you certainly could. Certainly could, yeah. Doing very, very nicely. So he's cranking through missions as well. The Papal States has quite a few of the kind of... when I'm thinking about EU4 missions, there's some that are kind of setup missions. And then there's like conquest missions. And then there's like kind of stretch goal missions, right? You've got a few that are kind of designed to give you some cool initial starting positions. There's the ones that are about taking land, and there's ones about like doing a certain amount of development in an area, stuff like that. And what he's done already is crank through quite a few of the setup missions that the Papal State has here, putting himself in a good position for that challenge. I believe the papacy also gets passive prestige gain for being the papacy. So that will help him out a little bit there, but this is not looking amazing on this war. He hasn't gone heavily into debt, and he's about to lose control of all of his provinces, which will put him in a bad spot when it comes to raising mercs.
Did he already restart? I don't think he restarted, did he?
He's restarted 3 times so far.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. It's been...
My man is
there's the
speed.
Neapolitan siege. Nice.
We should
He's got
rename him to
wall
Aldra
breach.
Speed from now on.
Wall breach on Rome. That's not looking great. It's going to be a close one. Oh, but they left it. They left the siege. Nice. Doesn't reset all the siege progress, but we'll give him the... Oh, no, sorry. They fully left it. Okay, so it does fully reset the siege progress. Nice. And now, managing to come in here. Oh, look at that stack white. That is a thing of beauty. That is a thing of absolute beauty. Moving in here. Ooh, that seems like a risky fight. Taking them on. Oh, no, but absolutely crushing them. Those Swiss guards proving their worth here. Absolutely massacring. Very, very nice. Let's check in on Lady Saffron here. Just cruising along. She's counting. She's counting. It's a VTuber counting moment going on right now. In the oh, they migrated next to her. That's frustrating. Looks like she'll need to drive them out, just trying to get access to more of those coastal provinces. Because what is she up to right now?
I mean, she's
It
getting
is-
the territories, and she will eventually reform, I'm guessing. So what I'm seeing here is that she's likely not going to be attacking the Peruvians, like I said initially.
No, she won't need to now that she's already got the
Yeah.
the highest trade. I mean, I think she's going to be done in like one more migration, because all she needs is just a bit more. We did have there was a conversation which I can now reveal to the public. There was a back channel conversation. We were talking about whether or not tribal lands counted as owned. You do have to pay monarch points for them. They do show up as yours in the Diplo screen. So I have decided on balance that they are. They do count as owned provinces.
Wait, really?
So, yes, I think so. I think so. It's difficult because they're a weird situation, but they're not controlled. Like they're not owned by a subject or something like that. So, yes, I think so. But so she's extremely close. She won't need to do almost anything else at this point. Essentially, she just needs to reform in, and she has the points. Let's look at Aldrahill here. Nice. Look at that. Really managed to have that war go extremely well. I'm playing at speed 5 on, not to brag here, but we have some very fast PCs that our players are playing on. If you watch the days fly by.
The best species, yes, indeed.
So he's managing this war really quite nicely. Looking to take a pretty big chunk of lands. Obviously, Excommunication CB, a very nice CB in the early game. Hard to find yourself a more appealing CB in the first few years. Looking good. Yeah, obviously just having to force Savoy out of this war. But we'll see. We'll see. May need to update the language of the challenge. I may, and I may do so for the final. And for the fun stuff we have coming up after the final. But for the week where the question is first asked, I'm happy to go with the most legalistic. You do control the tribal lands in the sense that, no one else can take them, no one else can do that. But yes, counting against in the heat of the moment, if someone comes up with a kind of rules lawyery-esque way of getting around a challenge, I'm very happy with that to run for 1 week. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, trying to get some prestige out of this Savoyard war. Already up to 47. Pretty nice. Interesting.
How many more objectives does Aldrahill have now?
Algera has 4 left to get. He needs 6 subjects. He needs to win a coalition war, 7 missions, and that includes 3 subject missions. 100 prestige and 100 legitimacy are the ones on the board. I'm just going to check the 100 prestige, 100 legitimacy one though, because no, okay, we removed the difficulty modifier from that one. Okay. Because at one point that one only counted if you didn't use end rival. But I was persuaded to not add that rule in. Ah, yes, and chat is pointing it out right now. Okay. What is his next play? I mean, he's got 2 subjects already, obviously. Starting with 2 makes it easier. Where are the other subjects coming from? We're thinking maybe a small Naples.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's in the Balkans, because it's easy to get all of the Balkans as your vassals. Like Herzegovina, 1 province in Bosnia, Serbia after the collapse, maybe even Albania, maybe Dalmatia from the Venetians, and his natural enemy is Venice, so I'm assuming he will eventually attack Venetians. Corfu as well can be released, Crete. So 1 good war against Venice is literally all the vassals you need. Padova, Verona as well, Aquileia as well can be released, so that's quite literally more than he even needs.
I mean, yeah, there's obviously loads of low-dev provinces over there that are very nice, and exactly as you say, the alliance chains early tend to be pretty forgiving. Nice. So just grabbing, fairly standard chunk of land off Naples, just growing his econ a bit there. Makes a lot of sense. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm trying to think how this doesn't work out for Aldrahill here, and I don't really see it not working out, to be honest. I mean, it seems like he's in a really good place. Seems like he should be able to carry it forwards. The challenge will be, can he keep up the wars required for the prestige? Because, of course, his prestige very likely to be ticking down. Ooh, Castile on friendly. That's nice. But we'll see. I mean, his prestige of it, yeah, exactly. It's currently ticking down pretty quick. Ooh, humiliate rival there, but that's going to... I'm guessing he was just... My suspicion is that Algera is not that happy about running a deficit at the moment, essentially. And obviously, one way you can solve that is just take more land, outgrow your problems. My suspicion is he's just kind of coring stuff up, stating it all, trying to get his economy under control. Ooh, he is hitting up against a problem, though. His devotion is declining right now. And he's I mean, I don't know. I don't play with devotion very much. There aren't easy ways for him to crank his devotion early game without just spamming mill points on it, right? Of course, he can do that if he needs to, but it'll just make his life
Pretty
harder
much,
on
yeah.
all the
Pretty much
wars.
just
Yeah,
mill points.
yeah. It's definitely doable. Definitely doable. Interesting. Interesting. I think... Did he just leave the HRE? Did I see that right? Oh, look at that. Savoy not joining the war. No, that's right. That was him joining the HRE. Okay.
Oh,
I missed
he likes
something.
to live. He likes to live dangerously. Obviously, he's going for the high AE vassals.
Yeah, he joined. Yes, I agree. The challenge is not the devotion, or and we have clarified that devotion and etc. count the legitimacy. You can throw the mill points at it, but I don't know. I'm still worried about his 100 prestige, and he's going to have to try and get this coalition war. Now, the coalition war is, I'd say, by far the most dangerous challenge, because he needs to be able to declare on a coalition that has 5 members. Now, the easiest way I can think of doing that is essentially you don't have many allies. You try and cause exactly 5 nations to have 50 aggressive expansion against you, and then you delete your army such that they actually form a coalition. Because the AI does not like nice easy war against Siena. The AI does not like.
What are you talking about? You don't need to delete your army to get a coalition of the AI.
Well, it depends because you want a small coalition.
So fast, it's insane.
Well, they will if they think they have more troops than you. But of course, if you want an easy win against them, you want a coalition to form that has less troops than you.
That's fair, but you can still win against a slightly bigger one. Like, essentially, all you need to do is manage the amount of nations that would potentially join the coalition against you, which is fairly easy to do because you can see who's going to join the coalition after the peace deal.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think the difficulty with that is if you lose against a coalition, it's going to take a really long time on a restart to try and get that working again. And of course, by losing to the coalition, you're going to lose a bunch of AE you're going to have to try and get back, which is going to put you in an annoying position. So I think the challenge is, will he be able to kind of have the right peace deal to take to create a coalition of just the right size without getting big, dangerous people in the coalition? And again, I feel like maybe the Balkans is the go-to place to do that. You could create a coalition of Orthodox nations. Because, of course, if you're not familiar, chat, the amount of aggressive expansion that a nation receives when you do something nasty, give yourself any bad boy, as aggressive expansion is called in the code, it's significantly modified by the culture, religion, and proximity of each of the nations involved. So if you were to go and beat up on a bunch of Orthodox nations in the Balkans, then the Catholics care less, that kind of thing. But we'll see. You can do it very quickly by Nosy being a free city and then decking the moment one nation joins. Now, the problem with that is, let's say you give yourself a big coalition in the HRE. Your plan is to declare as soon as the coalition starts forming. Firstly, it has to have 5 members of the coalition when you declare. Secondly, if a big coalition continues forming past when you've declared, they're going to declare on you again. And then, sure, they're not in the previous war, but they're still roaming around massacring you, right? So they put you in a tricky spot. They certainly can, anyway. It's going to be tricky. I mean, I definitely think it's doable. I just think it's the most difficult one. On subjects, where else is he getting subjects? He could release Siena if he wanted to. He could release Pisa out of Florence. That would certainly be an option. That puts him at 4. I'm not sure where else he could go.
I mean, he can vassalize a few nations around him. Is he going to go for the war against the Venetians?
Oh, yes, Avignon. Good point, chat. Good point. Avignon's another one. So that would put him at 5. Then he just needs 1. Yeah, war against the Venetians obviously gives you lots of potential stuff there. Why is he? What's he messing with his estates for? What's he done? Why is he unhappy with his estates? You revoking privileges? Why is he revoking privileges? This man's goals are beyond my comprehension. And there we go. time on Lady Saffron. She managed to get it in at 24 minutes. Not quite getting the crown, but still pretty good. Pretty darn good. All 4 challenges completed. Now, with the way that the challenges work, we now know that Lady Saffron has secured herself, 100% secured herself, 4 points. But she could walk away with 6. What is the scenario where that happens? Well, it's if she beats Algera. When does she beat Algera? Well, if Algera misses even 1 challenge, she wins. Because if he gets 5 out of 6 done, 1 missed, that's 5 points for completed challenges, -2 gives you 3. Which means that in order for Lady Saffron to lose, Algera has to complete every single one of his objectives. Not necessarily an easy feat, especially with only 35 minutes remaining. And Algera has picked some tricky ones. I mean, you were saying, Ludi, you think Algera left a couple of easier ones on the board.
Oh yeah, quite a few ones.
Mm-hmm. What would be the other ones that you would have snapped up out of this one?
Revanchism would have been fairly easy to do. You just basically lose a lot of provinces in a war, right?
Yeah, Revanchism does seem fairly easy. It's one of those ones that you have to do at the end, which makes it a little bit tricky if you're trying to do like a subject-related one at the end or a ducat-related one at the end.
But, I mean, you can do it at the start. You literally declare war on anyone next to you, give them all of your provinces. You got
revanchism. It's true. If you're forced to restart, if you're restarting, then yes, I suppose.
I mean, so that would have been smart. Also, the continents one, because the Pope can easily get access to Africa and the Eastern European bits. So he can get into the Anatolian parts, and as such, that would technically be Asia, right?
Yep. It definitely work. Continents. I feel like 20 years ahead of time. So this is one of the few challenges that we actually made easier. It used to be 30 years ahead of time. 20 years cumulative ahead of time on tech. How difficult do you think that challenge is these days? I mean, I think it's not that bad. It's not that bad these days. Oh, nice war on Florence. Oh, quite a few people coming in, though. It'll be interesting. Yoinking one of his subjects. Not what you like to see. Put themselves on low morale, though. Potentially in a dangerous spot. Interesting.
He's got this.
I do think he's got this, but
Florence doesn't even have enough troops. They've got, what, 1,000 cavalry? Or they have 4,000. Oh, he's got a 4-shock general. There you go.
Oh, that's very nice.
Easy mode win. Oh, they actually had 4,000 cavalry. Interesting.
Yeah. Very, very nice. I think, chat is pointing out that restarting seems a little overpowered for some of the challenges. I do think you are right. And no, I'm not going to make any changes this week. But for the finals, I think we will re-clarify that restarting is only if your nation is, if you are imploding, essentially. If you are actually at risk of kind of game overing you because your nation is falling apart so badly. Because it does kind of, the idea of the 25 inflation challenge is either you have to do it at the end, or it puts you in a bad position because you're doing it early on, right? It's different if you can just restart. So we'll probably clarify that up next one. What's imploding? It's the opposite of exploding, but I just mean collapsing and falling apart. Bankruptcy is not. How is bankruptcy not a ruined nation? I did say risk of game over.
I mean, I think we should make the rules a little bit more clear on
that. All the
challenges
to be done in one run. We could. But the problem with that is that it means that if one player gets halfway through and then falls apart, it's just kind of game over, which is not so fun. It's not so fun. We are obviously trying to create great esports content here. We're trying to make it properly competitive, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we also do want to balance what's fun to watch, right? What's going to be great, what's going to be awesome, what's going to be entertaining. And that means, ideally, a player doesn't get 35 minutes in, and then because they lost one bad war, they're just doomed, right?
I feel like the draft has a really good objective set, like a really, really good one. But a lot of them are easily to exploit. A lot of them are easy to just cheese, which, in my opinion, should be redressed for the next season of the draft in the future, right? Now it's a little bit late, so
sure. I mean, we're not confirmed, obviously, that we're going to do necessarily like full season 2 of the draft and stuff. Hopefully, you guys want to see one, and we may well do that. But this is obviously, exactly as you point out, it's season 1. It's season 1. Many of the challenges not completely worked out, not perfect, not exactly as they should be. And we will iterate, we'll change, we'll make things simpler, and we can make it nice. we can make it beautiful, and we can continue to make these challenges. Not more challenging, even just more, more structured, more fitting to what we're trying to achieve here.
I'd say it's pretty well done so far, but like some of the things like restarting with the nation should not be allowed. Like the moment they restart, you should have all your objectives reset. That's fair in my opinion.
I
Because
think
at the end of the day, we cannot say that his nation's on the brink of collapse, he can reset and keep the objectives. I mean, if he brought it to the brink of collapse, that's on him, right, or her. Because like that, quite literally, you can do all of the You can do 10 objectives easily by resetting 5 times and just focusing on one thing, and resetting and resetting and resetting.
You can. It's true. But the question is, speaking of things you can do, can Aldra do this and get all of his 6 objectives? He's grabbed Mantua as another subject, which could be good. Could certainly be good. Obviously, going to require a little bit of schmoozing to try and make them a little bit less mad at him, but we'll see. I think.
How are we doing with the mission so far?
He's got about 4.5. I think he's got 5 completed. And what I'm interested to see is how many. Is he subjugating Genoa? That'd be that's an aggressive expansion play for sure. Is he? No, he's just ending a bunch of rivalries. Fair enough. Trying to crank up that prestige. Looks like 15 prestige out of that war. Nice, up to 74. And he's been stacking these wars, right? Keeping them in place so that he's able to try and get as much prestige out of them all at once. But it's not going to be quite enough off these ones. Putting him at 88. Very close. Very close. Grabbing 2 provinces. Vassalizing Florence in Pisa seems like an interesting move.
I'm actually surprised that he didn't take the other province so he can release Pisa as a vassal from...
As someone who doesn't hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps a tiny bit of a misplay, but, he's playing speed 5. He's got a time limit. It all makes sense. But yes, coalition is seeming pretty likely here. He doesn't want to fight Venice. He knows that, obviously, you can beat it.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a tough
in the coalition, though. Yeah, that's tricky. 97 prestige.
He doesn't have the 7 missions yet because I open up the game and I check 7 missions are very easy to do for the Pope.
Yes.
Early on. I'm guessing he maybe has them or close to them.
Good. Hey, and there's prestige from that estate agenda. Very, very nice. Now all he needs to do is use some of his mill points.
One more devotion.
Loads in order to buy that extra devotion. Nice. Should be able to do that without too much difficulty. I don't know what he's waiting for here. Has he forgotten that he can buy devotion? Is he just dying? No, he's just finding where it was. Nice. There we go. Okay. That is the prestige and devotion. Legitimacy, here called devotion. Objective completed. Nice. 3 out of 6 done for Aldra in just about exactly half the time. Obviously has also made progress towards some of his other objectives. So we'll see where he goes from here. I think, yeah, we'll see. Yes, on the rules lawyery side, we have officially said that legitimacy just means, I can't remember what it's referred to as in the game files. I think it's just actually referred to as when you're trying
Crown
to check
authority
something
or some sort of authority.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like
But,
it can be Republican tradition or devotion or whatever, horde unity. That's what we mean by it when we say that in the objective.
Exactly. Going towards the war with Bologna. Interesting.
There you go. That's a really good mission, by the way. The bonuses from the Vatican Library are so good. Oh, he hasn't done the rebuild the papal treasury. What? Oh, dear.
He just didn't have the cash, I guess, right?
I guess so. He's supposed to not have any loans as well.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be a little awkward. The influence ideas pick, right, makes sense for the trying to get the subjects under control. A problem that we've had quite a few of our players suffer so far.
To be fair, the mission, that one could easily be done from the very start of the game. I mean, that's a missed opportunity. He could have just gotten it from getting the money from the crown loans and just debasing some of its, getting a little bit of corruption.
Yeah, sale titles, good theory. There's so many new ways to get money when you really urgently need it. And by new ways, I mean new relative to like many years ago. You have crown loans, you've got debasing, you've got burger loans. It's cool. It's cool. There's lots of different ways to try and balance your budget here. So presumably in this war, he's going to vassalize Bologna. Probably all he needs. What are we looking at subjects here? He's got Florence, Perugia, Urbino, and Mantua. And then, of course, he can do Avignon if he wants to, plus Bologna.
He needs one more. He needs one more, so I'm guessing that's going to be Bologna.
Yeah. I'm counting Bologna as a bit of a foregone conclusion here. It really looks like he could be doing it. Yeah, selling ships. Good point. Selling ships, another way to try and yoink that. Teutonic Order wanting to join the HRE. Not of concern to our Aldra right now. He's looking pretty good. And I was saying, Aldra's game is one to watch because it obviously happens earlier in the day. And the fact that it happens earlier in the day means that what Aldra scores here matters for Chewie and Cleo. Because Chewie and Cleo, they're not going directly up against each other. But they are very much in battle. Because they're battling it out for that 3rd and 4th place spot. You know, it's definitely anybody's game. And let's say Aldra completes all his objectives here, which really is looking very likely. That puts him at 15 points. That means to beat him, Cleo, or to draw him, Cleo needs 10 points and Chewie needs 5. Now,
I wouldn't underestimate either of them, though. They're both extremely good players, so we might see a pretty serious comeback today.
For certain. And I mean, you know, we've been talking about the players being kind of unassailably behind Zloek, and that's fair. Like, they have been. But what they are not unassailably behind is that 4th place spot, which keeps them in the game, right? Keeps them going. And
definitely, yeah.
Looks like potentially a Ferraran vassalization play being made here, rather than releasing Avignon, and a full annexation of Bologna. Interesting. An interesting way to go at it. Ooh, nice stack wipe. Always a good way to start the war. Nice. Looking honestly pretty textbook after some early mishaps so far here. Big rebellion.
Yeah, he's got a fairly decent game going on for him.
Yeah, it's been pretty textbook, managing to plow through. Only 23 minutes left. I'm a little bit worried. About getting the subjects loyal. I'm still a little bit worried about the coalition war. I really think the coalition war is going to be a problem, because remember, if he misses only the coalition war, he suddenly plummets down from getting 8 points today to getting merely 5, which is not going to be enough. Sorry, not 5, 3. No, wait, am I crazy? 5, 6, 2, 4, 3. The number is 3. He would only get 3 points if he misses one of his missions here. So you know, that's a huge difference. That means that Cleo only has to get 5 in order to come above him. So.
I think you forgot about the secret point, the best friend of Count Christo point that Aldrahill got.
I'm not sure. I mean, Aldra's certainly
the one
we're
sneaking over.
He's certainly the person in this challenge who I've known for the longest. So I mean, he should deserve a point on that. He's also, as far as I know, the only person in this challenge that lives in the same country as me. So clearly, I should give him a point simply for that.
Aldrahill's from the UK.
He is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you not tell our beautiful accents not coming through perfectly?
No. I thought he's American.
No. He's one of ours.
Wow.
One of mine, and therefore deserving of points. Strong duchies, nice. Going to make it easier to keep those vassals loyal. Oh yes, of course, and Parma, another easy subject you could potentially be yoinking here. Easy to get loyal. And I forget the name. The western half of Ferrara. Is it M something?
Western half of Ferrara. What are you talking about?
You can release a subject in the western one.
Parma. Modena.
Modena. Thank you. Yeah. So you can get Modena.
Signor.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that can certainly make things easier. Grabbing those two to release them, meaning, you know, the subjects he's trying to make like him don't have any aggressive expansion, all that kind of good stuff. Oh, getting some bad rolls on this siege, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
How much aggressive expansion does he have, actually? Can he form the coalition, or...?
Right now, the coalition is not wanting to form, but I have to imagine after this peace deal is where he's going to try and finagle it. He's got Austria as an ally. I suspect his intention is to declare on Venice, with Venice in the coalition, and that because Venice and Austria are unfriendly, being able to call in Austria against the coalition. That will obviously put him in a very strong position, if he is indeed able to do that. It will make him have a very, very nice ability to have Austria be his kind of AI, both his AI punching bag in terms of them trying to siege him down, but also his attack dog in terms of using them to battle down the AI, the waves of coalition AI that will come against him. But we'll see. We'll see.
He still has 20 minutes to do it. He's got all the time in the world.
I would say he has 20 minutes and not all the time in the world. I think the coalition war could take 10 minutes at least.
I mean, if he plays it well, yeah, 10 minutes is more than enough.
I want to know why he's so concerned about his noble's estate. Like, what is he? Why is he min-maxing the loyalty and legitimacy? Sorry, the influence of his nobility estate. That's not the priority right here.
Maybe it's one of the objectives. I don't know.
No, it's not at all relevant. There's a mission for it. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
There you
go. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. You were going to say we should give him a 20-minute warning, I believe.
Yes, I was going to say that, yeah.
I read your minds all the way. And
great minds think alike.
And you and me as well. Not just great minds. Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes people who are of very different levels. Anyway, Aldrahill, this is your 20-minute warning. 20-minute warning. Godspeed. Godspeed. And of course, you should get Godspeed. Battle Pope. Just tell him. Tell him to give you some speed, and then you're good. And then he'll tell you can't. He can't give you speed. That's inappropriate. This is a PG stream. And anyway, good luck. Good luck.
You got this.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
You got this. Yeah.
There's Parma. Ooh, with exactly 5 eligible members of the coalition. I think I just saw. Looking pretty good.
Actually curious what mission is the one with the nobility influence.
Chat, which one was that specifically? And then
that's chat, yeah.
Did he vassalize? He did. Okay. Now you just need to make him love him. There is patrimony of St. Peter. What's he up to now? 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one more, but then he needs some subject ones as well. Is he going to try and do the loans one now? It's certainly more difficult, but... What the others? Okay. Who is Algera against? Well, theoretically, he is against Lady Saffron, but Lady Saffron completed her world tour by playing Carib in northern South America and completing all of her challenges in a measly 24 minutes, in a very textbook display of doing what is required and no more, essentially by 1 point precisely securing her spot in the playoffs for 3rd place next week. She has made it mathematically impossible for herself to be unseated from that position. Meaning that she did, precisely the kind of game theory appropriate approach, which I respect, to be honest. It makes perfect sense. It's what I would have done. And it was very nicely done. It was very nicely done. So right now, Algera is in that most enviable of positions where he plays only against himself. Wasn't she second? No, both Corbett and Zlowick are quite a bit ahead of Lady Saffron. It was mathematically possible for her to catch Corbett, and therefore get herself a shot at first place, but it would have to be quite unthinkable. If she had received a full 12 points, then she would have been only 5 ahead of Corbett, meaning she would have to rely on the fact that Corbett was not able to complete 5 challenges, and betting on yourself to be able to complete 10 when you need your points opponent to only be able to complete 5, very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. So pushing for just the number needed to make sure Chewie couldn't, even in the outside chance, go against her, seems like the right strat to me, and looks like it's paying out very, very nicely, or has already, in fact, paid out very nicely, securing that battle for the plate, for the 3rd place on the podium for the bronze. Now, Alger, he has got 2 missions completed on Lucca. Nice. Again, these kind of prep missions, pretty easy to get done. obviously for vassals, so not too difficult at all. Just adds a little bit of overhead. And he has got the 6 subjects, all loyal. Nice. So now it's just about, I think, one more subject mission, or he might actually already have that one. One more mission for himself, and that ever important coalition war. 16 minutes. Still feeling confident, Ludi?
Oh yeah, for sure. 16 minutes to win a coalition war is a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. I don't disagree. Don't accidentally declare war on France, which it seems like he almost did there. But yeah,
wait, I thought he got extra points if he declared on France, no?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Or maybe I'm just baiting him.
That's unhelpful. A unloyal subject call from Venice pitching in against him. Not great. This channel is really well done, fun to watch. Kudos to organizers and commenters. Thank you, Epicratos. It's much appreciated. Always lovely to have support from the chat. And chat to all of you, if you want to support more content like this, then do follow the channel, join the Discord. There's many great conversations to be had about all of the wonderful content that we have coming up. Obviously, make sure you're tuning in this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Commanders in Conflict next round, which is going to be very, very good fun, not to be missed. And we will have more Speed 5 content, more Speed 5 EU4 content coming to you over the next couple of weeks. Definitely a good idea to be following and keeping track on all of that. But to remain focused on this, there's no way Aldra gets this. I think he can get this. He just needs to win the coalition war, and that is the coalition.
Sure. Here you go.
He just needs to be able to beat Venice. Beat Venice with Austrian. Can he get Austrian help? Not right now. With some of his subjects disloyal? Does he know he's capped on mill points?
Wow, Austria just gobbled up all of the Balkans that the Ottomans
so they did.
Look at that.
Please don't declare on Naples and find yourself at war with France.
That might dissipate the coalition getting that mill tech so far ahead.
Maybe. He does have Austria allied to him. Ooh, be tricky.
The balance of power is going to be pretty nasty here. I'd say if he's got 5 members in that coalition, he should declare.
Yeah.
Just merc up, loan up, and you got this.
Yeah, it's tricky. What's he doing there? Oh my lord!
Oh boy,
he just caused himself a lot of extra aggressive expansion.
Milan is still in the HRE? No, it's not.
No, the Shadow Kingdom has fired. But surely, that's going to put him in a difficult spot. He's also allied to Castile. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Brunswick joining, so he's just basically trying to reform it. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. When I was looking at Venice, I was assuming the coalition was already there because people were being auto-called. That's because they were trade league members. My mistake. That's 4, I think. And that's 5. And now he's at peace.
There you go. You can declare.
Okay, no, that's more than 5. That's 7. So that's enough members of the coalition. But he needs to be able to win the war
right now.
Austria will join unless he has a CB.
Yeah, if he waits any longer, a lot of more nations are going to join. So he should declare now and actually win against that. Even if Austria doesn't join, that's his only chance.
No,
right there.
he can't. All of these are members of the HRE. He has no CBs to declare on them. If he declares on them, Austria joins against him. He has to declare on one of the allies of the members of the coalition.
He doesn't have a CB on Venice?
Venice is not in the coalition.
Oh my god, wow.
I know.
How is Venice not in the coalition?
I don't know. Does it count to attack the coalition? Yes, it does count. Oh, but he unpaused. And please tell me that's not France joining.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's France supporting Urbino though. France did join!
Of course they joined.
Oh, that's not looking so hot. Okay, but now surely he can find someone to declare on that he has a CB on. Like France. Does he not have a CB on France? Surely. From one of his subjects? He doesn't.
No.
He can get Burgundy to join against France, but not Austria. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Honestly, I just reset if I was him.
I mean, maybe.
He's got
really
11
bad.
minutes. He can set it up in 11 minutes. He can get... Because he needs a coalition. Doesn't have to be, he doesn't need to have all of these lands. He just he can just attack, say at the start of the game, I don't know, no CB Siena, get enough nations and well, no, because they're a part of the HRE. No CB Naples, something of the sorts. And then
looks
once
like
you have
his
the coalition,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
It looks like his plan might be to try and ally up enough people that he
I don't think
can
that's gonna work.
cause the coalition to disperse. But I agree, that seems unlikely to work.
It's not gonna work. He did that no CB on Milan. That was a big mistake because that's gonna bring at least 30 nations from the south bit of the HRE against him. And the thing with coalitions is when you have a lot of small HRE annoying OPMs, they're gonna win because they're gonna have multiple AIs directing every single move that you make. So if you want to plan a battle, you're gonna end up with 7 different stacks coming one after the other, reinforcing that battle. So you're gonna lose.
I think the critical mistake was he forgot that if you declare a war in the HRE without a CB, Austria goes against you, even when you're a member of the CB. Even when a member of the HRE, which is, it's tricky. It doesn't come up that often. It's basic because the time you tend to be declaring war in the HRE without a CB is when you're Austria trying to get rid of the Reformation. And I don't see a way. I don't see a way. He could declare on Venice, calling in Austria and Burgundy, potentially.
No, he cannot win this. I can tell you. I just noticed, I saw Dortmund joined in the coalition. That means if Dortmund joined, that means all of the HRE is going to join, including the northern bits. No amount of alliances are going to win against that coalition.
Aragon joined.
Even if he allies the Ottomans, he's not going to win. He needs to restart this. He's wasting time, in my opinion.
So if he doesn't restart, he's basically looking at 3 points. He needs to get his 7 missions.
He can try it. If he goes full loans, full mercenaries, why not?
It's true. There is kind of no reason not to try, right?
Yep.
But it seems
he's got to be careful though. If he attacks the Venetians as the war leader, he cannot get their capital, so he's not going to get that little bit of an edge against them.
That's why you always got to aggressively declare on coalitions when they're actually going to fire. Almost always, anyway. Yeah. There are scenarios where you want your allies to come in. Almost always.
Does he have the missions yet, or
not quite? He's missing one still.
Oh.
Which will be much trickier to get. Much trickier to get in this situation, but I don't know. He's still going for the alliance play. It's not going to matter. The problem is, the HRE, obviously not a huge amount of land, but every single province has 10,000 manpower base, and every single province counts those 10,000 manpower towards the strength of the coalition.
And they already have cannons. Look at that. They have cannons from the French even.
Yeah. And all he needs are, obviously, all he'd need to piece out would be a OPM war leader fully occupied and 10 war score could be enough. No, you'd probably need a bit more than that, but it's gonna be tricky. With 8.5 minutes, I just don't see it. It looked like it was going so well. He was managing. He's almost got his mission completed for refilling the treasury now. He's loan free. Now he just needs enough cash, I believe, to get it completed. But, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I'm going to give him a real quick 8-minute warning. 8-minute warning. Good luck. Oh, dear. I'm not... okay, without restarting...
Not debasing, though, so he can get the mission done.
I'm not sure. I guess he just feels like he doesn't need to, but... Without restarting... Okay. Talk to me about how he could manage to complete this challenge.
His only chance would be to win every single battle, or at least most of the battles, so he can get the taking war score. Because the way you get the taking war score is once you win enough battles and you get because it's a supremacy CB. Yeah, the supremacy. Yeah. It's not gonna be easy. It's still doable if he does win the battles. It is definitely still doable, but it's gonna be tough. It's 100% gonna be tough, and it's gonna last a long time as well.
There's the missions. Will we get the circumnavigation while he types out the final mission? Something to salvage from this. We're close. We're more than halfway there. We're 2/3. Not quite. Not quite the circumnavigation. Shame.
You could say he can lose to this one, as I saw in chat here, and fight another coalition war. That's not possible, though. If he shows us his coalition map mode, because I've been keeping a little bit track, every single nation around him has joined this already. So it's impossible to have a second one form afterwards.
The way you would get the second one to form would be to no CB Tunisia or something. who is currently not in it. No Sunni nations care at the moment. So he'd have to try and cause a coalition that consisted of people who are not bothered with his current one, which would be very, very challenging. I mean, it looks like he's just going to try it. But look at that. He's got 1,059,000 force limit available against him. That is insane. That is absolutely absurd. The year is 1480. And my guy really has the full... I mean, look at that, though. Look at the numbers on his side. They're actually not bad. He's got half as many men as the coalition. Who is he looking at declaring war on there? Because he might be able to get a decent... Oh, it's possible, man. It's possible. Because with those people he was calling in then, he was getting up to like 500,000 force limit on his side. Plus mercs, plus targeting the... causing... war exhaustion and stuff on the war leader, plus making the war goal something else, for something other than a proper coalition war. Look at this. Look at this. Aldra, click the buttons. Okay, there we go. He's got 221,000 infantry coming in on his side, 330,000 coming in on the enemy. Oh yeah, allying the Ottomans. That's the strat right here. It's actually possible. You're normally the optimist. It's more possible if he stops checking and unchecking the same things here with 5 minutes on the clock. My God. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
So I'd say there is a chance, but the reality is that the way the AI works, you have, 50 nations against 5. That's how the AI sees it, right?
Yeah.
So... those 5 nations are going to fight pretty separately. They're not going to unify compared to those HRE annoying ones.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up with a lot of battles lost on every single side. Yeah. So that's going to give you a lot of negative war score.
He essentially needs to full occupy Naples as soon as possible, get their war exhaustion cranking, and then just try and hold the war score. One way you hold the war score is your allies piecing out. Like the moment your ally pieces out, you get a bunch of the occupation war score up. Because you have to imagine. But the other thing is, Austria, they can put some punches in, but with 4 minutes, he's going to have to be at speed 5 to crank the.
He's got a chance. He's got a chance.
Score. He's got the ticking war score pretty much in the bag, as long as he can avoid allowing them to come back over from Sicily. But
I mean, he does not have the ticking war score. He has to win battles in order.
No. He declared the war. He declared the war. It's an excommunication.
Oh, he declared the war. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
He's declared the war as an excommunication, so he has a taking war score already.
In that case, yeah, that would work. But
with 3 minutes and 40 seconds, it's going to be nightmarish. It's going to be completely nightmarish. But yeah, he did not get the wipe on Naples. As Gay was pointing out in chat, it was definitely not good. I mean, look at that. Look at that absolute horde coming in. I mean, you can play Italy in such a way as to put yourself into a position to hold off on these insane HRE coalitions, but not in 1480. Not without control of the Alps. Not without being fully set up.
You need the mountain forts especially.
Yeah. There's a win. There's a win. If you can keep taking out little stacks before they can unify, there's points to be had, but there. I mean, it's already too late. They've unified up there. It's going to be really, really tough. And now Naples is coming back in from the south. Oh, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Come on. Let's pray G, everybody. Pray G, everyone.
I don't see it. The doom stack coming down from the north. This is a massive, massive ask. I mean,
he's got a good 2 minutes 44.
Burgundian succession, that is not good timing. They are his ally.
Yay.
Oh dear.
The Burgundians were wait, who did they become a junior member of actually?
I didn't see.
That's what matters.
I didn't see. It looks like, they're already being occupied by France anyway, so it's not looking great. It's not looking great. With 2 minutes, I mean, it could be done, but I don't know how. I mean, the thing is, he could probably get to a white peaceable scenario. In this situation, I think he could white peace it, but I don't think he could send a demand. Because to send a demand, he has to actually get 10
He's won a few battles. Look at that. He's won a few battles.
He's won some battles. He's definitely won some battles, but 1 minute 50 seconds.
I think the question is, France. Is he going to do it in 1 minute and 50 seconds?
Yeah. And with Naples coming back in and taking the war goal back off him.
I have to say, though, big kudos to Saluzzo, the real MVP of the session. Look at that bad boy literally replacing Savoy over there in the north.
Nice. You love to see it. I mean, yeah, it's looking bad. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking like Algiers will walk away with 3 points.
Yeah.
But it was a good attempt. There were definitely better ways, but I can see why he started getting desperate on time. He really pushed for it to get that, but there's Burgundian inheritance finishing. But what happened there? Okay, it looks like France has declared. How does that even work if France is already at war with Austria and then the option fires that causes France to go to war with Austria? Because they can't be in two simultaneous wars. Anyway, I mean, it's looking all over. Resounding defeat as people are getting pieced out. His war score is falling into the deep negatives. I mean, not that deep, but deep enough that he is not going to pull himself out of the hole. Not in this length of time. It appears to be over. Can I get an F in chat for my boy Alger here? It's not looking amazing. It's not. I mean, he's got the sieges done. But, I mean, he'd need to get 26 war score in 22 seconds, so I'm not sure how he's going to do that. He's winning some battles. They're at medium war enthusiasm. Look at that. 100,000 people in Mantua saying no, Alger, no. And there is time. It's a tragedy. He was going there. Oh my God. I love that we have
I agree. It's definitely, he could have won that if he had a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He could have just restarted. But, I mean, he did his best and it was enjoyable.
He did.
It was fun to watch.
Definitely. It was well played to both of our players. We really had kind of, to me, there's four things that happen in these draft games, right? On the one hand, you have the completely textbook, I have the plan, I'm going to do what I need to, and no more. That was Saturday. Then you have the just going nuts, Zloic, all 10 missions, plowing through. Then you have the just not even doing enough and going for it. But then you have Alger, several weeks now. He pushed, he went as far as he could, but didn't quite manage to make it happen. But it's a darn good try.
I agree. It was.
It's hard to look away from.
It is right.
Even though he's called Lady Saffron at the moment, but that's most fitting. Christo, would you like to do some live on-air maths?
Quick maths. Absolutely. That was 6 points for Lady Saffron and 3 points for Alger. Lady Saffron with 4 points completed and 2 for the victory. And Aldrahill with 5 completed for 5 points. 1 not completed for -2. No victory for Alger, unfortunately, meaning 3 for Alger, 6 for Lady Saffron. To put that into perspective, that means that Alger managed to get into the 2-digit club. Oh, baby. Meaning that the pressure is on Cleo because Alger is ending the tournament, the scoring rounds of the tournament with 10 points. And that puts Cleo as the only person without double-digit score.
Yep. We'll see how that goes real soon because Cleo is up next. But before that, of course, you guys get to take a quick break and have a lovely baguette of some kind, I'm sure. Actually, that's not a baguette. That's some type of kebab. Whereas I'm going to go talk to Aldrahill and Lady Saffron. I'll see you guys soon. First of all, Lady Saffron, strategy worked out. You did what you needed to do. You did it really quickly, but I don't think you did it as quickly as Corbett. But I haven't double-checked those numbers.
I'm not sure. And congrats to Ludi on becoming a VTuber. I didn't realize that was in the cards.
No one saw it, but here we are. Aldra, how are you feeling?
I'm alright. I feel like every week you come back to me and you cut to me just like my arms in the air, shaking back and forth. Yeah. I'm so annoyed The computer's so fast. I just like gently touched the space bar when I didn't mean to. So like 700 countries joined at once, including France. And I was about to declare without France, and I think I would have got it, but it threw me right off, and then I started misclicking. So close. Oh.
Well, it did put you at 10 total points. You're in the two-digit club now, as Christo is to call it. I think this has done less for you, Aldra, though, because you're, if I recall correctly, you're tied on that spot with Shui, and Shui hasn't played yet. Lady Saffron, you, however, has loads of points, so we will see you next week.
Yep.
I think regardless of what happens. But once again, I haven't done
Excited to see who I'm up against.
Not me.
So, you know, commiserations one final time to Aldrahill. Congratulations to Lady Saffron. Lady Saffron, see you guys next week. I mean, Aldra, I guess we can do lunch when you're in Stockholm or something.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say best of luck going forward, but that's only. I don't know how much I can rub this in Aldra's face anymore.
I deserve it. Give me some more.
You did get beaten by natives.
So much.
It has been a pleasure watching you, Aldra. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road, most likely. Lady Saffron, we'll see you next week. And for everyone else, you know, we will be back in just a few minutes.